everyone. Thank you for joining us online today for the San Francisco Church Grand Ceremony. Thank you, Joanne Sensei, Alan Matsui Sensei, Masato Kawahatsu Sensei, Alice Kawahatsu, Rodney Sensei, and the wonderful congregation at the Konko Church of San Francisco. I would also like to extend my appreciation for the Reverend Yoshiaki Fukuda Sensei's Mitama Spirit, which is the founding minister of the Konko Church of San Francisco. It's an honor for me to speak today on a topic of gratitude and health. I am Edna Matsuoka, Associate Minister of the Konko Mission of Wahiawa. I have been a minister for 18 years now, and also a registered nurse at a local hospital, and this year will be my 10th year in practice. Working as a nurse in the acute care setting of the Medical Surgical Oncology Unit has given me many priceless experiences and has also been spiritually rewarding for me. I'd like to begin with sharing a few life episodes of patients that I've actually taken care of in my nursing practice, which I strongly felt that gratitude played a really big role in their healing process. First patient is the trach patient. So this patient, he suffered a massive heart attack, cardiac, and then he had to be revived. And he had tracheostomy. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a hole in your throat area, and a ventilator is connected to it. So he couldn't breathe on his own. So this patient that I was assigned to had so many lines on him. He had a tracheostomy connected to the ventilator. He had many IV lines. He had a shishi tube, a Foley catheter because he couldn't urinate on his own. And he also had a feeding tube. So he had so many lines connected to him, and he was a very high care patient. One day when I took care of this patient, he asked me, "Do you think I'll get better, Edna?" And I said, "Of course you will. I can already see it." I said, "First, what's going to happen is you're going to be slowly weaned off your tracheostomy, your vent. You're going to be slowly weaned off that, and you'll no longer need your ventilator. You'll no longer need your feeding tube. You're going to be able to eat with your own mouth, and then all your IVs are going to be discontinued, and you're going to be able to pee on your own, and you won't need that Foley catheter in you, and you have all these lines basically removed from your body, and then you'll get better. You'll be able to walk step by step, and you'll be out of here." And that's going to happen. I know that's going to happen for you. But every step of the way, you have to not forget to give appreciation. You have to be grateful. And it's going to happen in steps. Your healing process will happen in steps. So when your trach tube gets discontinued, be thankful. Be truly grateful. And when your IVs get discontinued, be really grateful again. When you're able to eat again with your own mouth, using your own hands, give thanks again. When you're able to urinate on your own, give thanks again. And let this continue, I said to him. Because people tend to forget when they receive blessings, that's the end of their appreciation and they just stop giving thanks. But the key is to continue to give thanks for you to continue to receive divine blessings. And just as I said, he got better in that order. And pretty soon he was well enough to go home. And him and his wife and the visitor were so grateful for me and also for the blessings that he had received. And he went home. We can breathe, we can eat, we can urinate regularly, we can do our regular bodily functions, we can move at will. But we tend to take this all for granted until we can no longer function like we normally do, right? That's what happens. So keep your inner furnace hot. My mom always says, "Netsu o samasenai yoni." Don't cool down your gratitude. Always continue to be thankful. Don't forget your blessings. By being thankful every day, you're adding fuel to your inner furnace, so you're always sparking joy. I know that's Komari's statement, but yes, you're sparking joy. Another episode I wanted to share with you is the gauze episode, I call it. And I call it the gauze episode because this patient, he had some form of a tumor growing behind his eye, his right eye. So it was pushing out at his right eyeball. So he couldn't see, he's blind in one eye. And he had like all this like pus coming out. So he had a piece of gauze on his eye. And it was like right above his eyebrow like this. So like this. And it was loose. It was really loose. And then I came in one day to him and I said, can I kind of like secure that gauze on your face? And he was so mean. Like, leave me alone! Don't touch me! And it's like just looking at the gauze on it, you're just flinging it all over the place, you know, he's trying to eat and he's just getting in the way. So I thought maybe just a little securement with some tape would make it look better. So he's like, get away from me, don't touch me. But I just really quickly got a piece of tape and secured it to his face. So it's a little bit more secure, right? And he got really angry. He's like, why do you do such things? He's like, leave me alone. And he was just so mad. Not only at me, but at everybody, really. He just didn't want to be bothered. He wanted to be left alone. So I had to do some care for him, you know. And he was just grumbling. And I just said to him, must you be so mad? And he yelled at me. And he said, you don't know what I'm going through. You have no idea how I'm suffering. No idea what I'm going through. And I said, yeah, I don't know what you're going through. I really have no idea. I'm not you. And I'm sure you're suffering in your own way, but I have no idea what you're going through. Can you tell me? I said. And I guess he wasn't expecting that, but he suddenly started to tell me his whole story of how he got diagnosed and everything. He was in his 80s, right? And he's like, just up until last month, just 1 month ago, I was totally functional. I could do everything by myself. I was able to drive, eat everything. I was able to do everything. And here I am being told by the doctor I only have a few months to live with stage 4 cancer. I feel terrible, he says. And I was like, oh my goodness, that is quite terrible, you know. I'll be so shocked too if I were in his shoes. And just listening to him made his heart a little bit lighter, I can tell. He just needed somebody to listen. It's like he was just holding it all in, and that was contributing to his really angry attitude towards the staff and to me. And after his story, and he says, like, further, I can't even see out of my right eye, you know? And then I said, oh, but I was like, wow, so you were healthy up until like 80 something years of your life? Man, that's amazing, I said to him instead. And I don't think he was expecting that. I did feel sorry for him too, but I also felt amazed that he received blessings to that extent. So I was like, that's amazing. You received such blessings until that moment, until just a month ago. And now you're in here and you've been diagnosed with cancer, and that's terrible. And I'm sure you must be shocked and sad. And he was complaining about his eye, that he can't see anymore. And I said, why don't you talk to your eye? I said, your right eye. And he said, why should I? It won't talk back to me. So I was like, yeah, I know, it might not talk back to you, but maybe you can at least say thank you. Although you can't see out of it now, you were able to see out of it just a month ago. And from there, for 80 something years. So to just say thank you. I'm sure you've seen a lot of beautiful things with those eyes of yours, you know. But we just tend not to say thank you to them, you know. And we just complain when it's no longer working. So he kind of looked shocked. And he was like, no, I've never said thank you before. No, never. I've never talked to it. And I think it's a good idea to do that, because your body, every little organ system in your body has been working very hard for you. So some recognition would really, it'll do a good favor for you in your spirit. Your inner soul will be happy. And after that, I just left him alone. And I came back for 9 o'clock meds, and he was like a different person. I couldn't believe it. None of the staff wanted to enter his room because he's always mad and he's yelling at us, right? So when I came back for his meds, he was happier. And the energy, you can just feel it. The moment you just walk in, the energy level had changed to positive. And then you would not believe, but he would say thank you more often. He never said thank you before, never. Now he would say thank you for every little thing, emptying out his urinal, putting out his tray to eat, giving him his medications, just putting the covers, the blankets over him a little bit more nicer. He would say thank you very much. And that is what we want. And that's the base of where the healing process begins. If you're not feeling that gratefulness in you, the healing just can't happen. No matter how much vitamins you take, no matter how much amazing, expensive medication you take, it's not going to work. It's just not. But through a grateful heart, grateful attitude, medication will work wonders for you. And that's the power of positivity, the power of faith and prayers, I believe. Well, it's not hard to tell if somebody is having a bad day, right? You can sense the energy levels of people. You either spark joy or you're like really dark and dim and you don't have any joy at all. You're like a Darth Vader. So in Japanese, there is a teaching, a Konko teaching, that says, 真にありがたしと思う心、すぐにおかげなり。おかげの始めなり. So heart filled with gratitude is the beginning of divine blessings. 真にありがたしと思う心、すぐに見影の始めなり. A heart filled with gratitude is the beginning of divine blessings. It's important to be grateful for everything, every time. My brother Rodney Sensei mentioned in his sermon one time, practice makes perfect is not necessarily true. Practice makes permanence is. So if you complain all the time, it may not affect you over a few days. Hey, because I complain too. I'm not perfect. I complain. But if you practice this all the time, you practice your monku, your negativity. Come 10 years, 20 years, 50 years of complaining, that will really take a toll on your body, your face. You'll look mean and unapproachable. I'm sure you met people like that. You will have upside down smiles. You will have wrinkles. You will have deep furrow lines on your forehead. And you will continue to repeat complaints after complaints after complaints when you become demented. It shows up when you have dementia. I know this is true because I've experienced many patients and people in my life that have gone through this. There are people who are quite the opposite. I'm sure you've met that too. They're always positive and grateful. So they have crow's feet at your eyes and, because they're always smiling. And they always look like they're smiling. They also constantly thank you and thank the staff for everything you do for them. And even the patients with dementia, they sing their hymns that they learned in church, or they repeat verses from the Bible. And over and over again, they are just repeating positive words. Like, thank you, thank you, thank you. They are demented, but they're happy. And we call these people pleasantly confused patients. So again, it's important to practice being grateful for all things in life. And this is where I want to do a quick activity with you, so you'll begin to notice those little things in life that really sustain our well-being and our living. I want you to go to the kitchen right now and go grab something to eat, like a fruit or like a food, even a bag of potato chips if that's all you have. Because right now I have an orange here. So you can pause the video right now until you get your food item. Okay? So anyways, I have my orange here. Now take your food item and hold it in your hands. What do you notice about it? Observe your fruit. And if you don't have any fruit, just look at mine. Look at my orange. What do you observe? Its shape, its color. What do you know about an orange? Its smell, its taste, its texture when you eat it. Okay, now why don't you go ahead and peel it? Well, I'll peel it. So I'm peeling my orange. So you can smell the really nice scent of the citrus, the orange. What do you notice inside? Observe how many pieces are there, the color, And I won't eat inside the she's done because I think that's rude to come from. But anyways, you can go ahead and eat. It's okay. Now, I'm going to, I already peeled my orange. And let me see here. Oh yeah, I hope you're saying, by the way, itadakimasu before you eat. That's really important. Itadakimasu means that there was something great that provided this food. And because of that, I am going to partake it with a humble heart. That's what itadakimasu is. So please don't forget that. And if itadakimasu is too long of a word to say before you eat, just put your hands together and say Konko-sama. And with that, it'll be like saying itadakimasu. Thank you for all these blessings in one word. Okay, now, so observe what was necessary of your own body for you to enjoy this single food item. Your hands, your fingers to hold it, your nervous system, right? What else? Your eyes to see it, right? Your mouth to eat it, your teeth to chew it, your tongue to taste it, your saliva to have the food come down your throat, and your throat and esophagus to deliver the food into your stomach. Your stomach to digest your food, your intestines to remove the necessary nutrients, and so on and so forth. Just all of these processes just to enjoy one food item. It's amazing, right? Now, think about all the processes that made it possible for that food item to be in your possession. Think about it. My orange had to grow probably somewhere in California through the blessings of the sun, the rain, the weather, the soil, gravity, many other countless factors, right? And the work and care of many hands of people. End the story. As for us, we are the same. We are the same as this orange or the food item. We receive constant care and blessings just like this orange in order to survive. We need the blessings. We need the blessings of heaven and earth in order to be alive, right? And we also have to have care from people in our lives to be where we are at today. We must never forget this grace. Now, this is the workings of Tenchi Kani no Kami-sama, the God of heaven and earth. Hence, today's grand ceremony of the San Francisco Church is an honor and appreciation of our divine parent of the universe, which is this unconditional energy and love that sustains all life forms. And now the founder, Ikiyami Konko Daijin-sama, revealed these benevolent workings of the universe to us. So we must also give thanks to Konko-sama. We are born amidst divine blessings, live amidst divine blessings, and die amid divine blessings. At every point in our lives, we are receiving divine blessings. Even when we are experiencing hardship in life, the blessings we have always been here with us. I hope you'll be able to appreciate your blessings just a little more today and keep that furnace of gratitude burning. your inner gratitude burning hot all the time, and never forget it. Continue to give thanks every day, and that's gonna carry you forward to your next blessings. Who knows what's waiting for you? And then that's the most exciting thing. Looking forward to the future with positive expectations. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed my little talk, and I pray that you will receive blessings in your own way. Thank you.